everybody, and welcome to Fantasy NBA Today, a sports ethos presentation brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. My name is Aaron Bruski, and with me is the great Steve, Dr. A. Alexander. Today, we're going to get you guys caught up from a crazy night of action and get you guys ready for a 3-game Thursday night. As usual, we'll have our top 6 must-add players. We'll have our drop zone. We'll talk about our guys. We will talk about our streamers. And we have a cool new segment at the end of the show that we'll let you in on here in a little second. Doc, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My throat hurts, but I'm here. Drew, did you get a chance to watch Leroy Jenkins?
I did, and I'm happy. And I really don't know what that dude was doing. And I recommend folks get out there and watch that 20-year-old viral video. Better question, Doc. How you feeling today, sir? How you doing?
Oh, I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm great. I've got a Dennis Jenkins hangover, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I'm all fired up about Dennis Jenkins.
You know how fired up Doc was last night, everybody? I got not 1, not 2, but 3 phone calls from the great Dr. A as Dennis Jenkins was going off. And you were having a great time with that over there. I appreciated your phone call. And anytime one of our guys is doing something good or bad, I'm going to hear about it. And I see a text from Doc. I'm either terrified or I'm extremely happy. But good to see you, sir. And let's hit some news up here real quick before we start yapping. We have a bunch of stuff happened last night. Got a little loose there. We got LeBron practiced with the G League squad. All went well. Not so big. Jokic went nuclear last night. Not so big. Big news, though. Jalen Brunson left the arena last night in a walking boot. We're going to see what that means for him. Paolo Banchero left last night's game with a groin injury. That's not good, though it's going to be very interesting to see how things change and shift in Memphis. Ja Morant didn't play with left ankle soreness. A lot of side-eye there. Anthony Davis being held back by ownership was one of those low-key things that kind of leaked out after the Nico Harrison firing yesterday. And then in small onesie-twosie stuff was P.J. Washington and Cam Johnson and Christian Brown all leaving last night's game with injuries. And also, I'm a little bit sick. I just need everybody to know that.
Drew, are you telling me that Cam Johnson got hurt?
Yeah. Anthony Davis, too.
I cannot believe it. Ja Morant missed a game? Are you kidding me?
I don't think he's happy, dude. I think he's a little upset with things in Memphis. But I might be wrong. It might just be a garden variety ankle injury. Who knows? But yeah, Doc, how are you taking all this info and all this news of the day?
It just makes me wonder who's going to step up. I bet Desmond Bane starts going off if Paolo Banchero misses games. I'm wondering who's going to fill in for Jalen Brunson. He not only was in a walking boot, he was on crutches.
Not good.
That's not good. That sounds like 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe. Talk about that in a little bit, I think. Talk about that in pickups of the night.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We'll just go right to pickups of the night. Our top 6 must-add players of the night from last night. Doc, you sounded like you wanted to talk about a certain player. I'll let you go first.
Well, he's not my number 1 pickup. He's on the list, and Miles McBride is probably going to be filling in for Jalen Brunson. Just keep in mind that Miles McBride has scored in single digits in 6 of his last 7 games. So he is not a hot player right now, but he could get hot with Brunson going down. A guy I'm really excited about is Brandon Williams of Dallas. He had 17 points, 5 boards, 9 assists, 3 steals. He's been on a roll for a week. I recommend picking him up wherever you can. Dallas is a wreck right now, and one of the only things there that I trust is Brandon Williams. My guy Dennis Leroy Jenkins did it again. 18 points, 4 boards, 12 assists, and 2 steals. Are you kidding me? The only problem is I had him in almost every league last night. I streamed the crap out of Leroy last night. I did not get him into my 30 deep lineup in time. It's a weekly league. It frustrates Rick Hamla so much. I'm surprised he can hang in the league. Brew, we got to go daily, man. We need daily lineup changes.
Look, I'm usually anti-daily with a weekly thing because the high level of stakes and how much time and all of the things. But for this particular league, I would be advocating for daily. And we have 30 GMs that can't agree on anything. And
well, you and I run the league. We can just go change the rules. Like, we don't need approval.
Yeah. But dude, it's a democracy, man. Everybody gets a vote. So, Danis, there's a couple interesting. I mean, these are really interesting situations. One, Danis Jenkins just kind of, I don't want to say he's like jumping off the screen, but he looks really, really effective right now. And it's not like Detroit's just, overflowing with depth. So that makes him very interesting for the long term. There are players that'll come back and possibly steal his thunder. Marcus Sasser, Karis LeVert could theoretically get good. Duncan Robinson's playing a ton of minutes, so there are players kind of in the way, but this stuff doesn't really happen accidentally. 18 points, 12 assists, 2 steals, that doesn't happen accidentally. He's got a good first step, and it feels like there's some wiggle there. So I'll be watching that and trying to understand, is there something of 12 to 14 team value going forward, just kind of no matter what. But then your Dallas stuff is super interesting. Brandon Williams, there's not a ton of info on Brandon Williams. He's had these kind of flashpoint moments in weird situations where all of a sudden he's thrust into the action and he's going to get you a lot of points and steals. And looking through his game log for the last couple of years, it's the points and the steals are almost a guarantee. They're there, like no matter what. The 3-point shooting is low. The rebounds and the assists are either there or they're not. It's like about half the time in these bigger minute roles that he's played that the assists and the rebounds have been there. And then in the other games, they're just not. Top 180 to 220 right now in 19.9 minutes per game. So if all of that kind of stays the same and we look at him as a 30-minute player, what are we looking at here? Are we looking at like a top 100 guy? Is that the goal here?
Yeah, I think Brandon Williams could be between 80 and 100.
That's what I was thinking. I think that's the upside scenario with Brandon Williams, which brings me to the next question is what the hell's going on in Dallas? Like, is this full-on tank, like, immediately today? Like, PJ Washington's like, I'm not playing through that shoulder injury. I'm done. I don't like the fans here because they boo my free throws. This situation sucks. We have no chance. Where's my next team? Not as associated to PJ Washington, but like anybody who plays for that team. Like, are they all just done?
I cannot understand how you screw a good thing up this bad. They were in the finals the year before last. They had Luka Doncic. They got the number 1 pick. They have Cooper Flag. I can't wrap my head around what Nico Harrison has done. And he better move his ass out of Dallas because they're not gonna let this go, man. Like, he ruined people's dreams.
It's fun to kind of joke and it's fun to even like think about, hey, maybe we should all just cut this human being a break. And then there's like the massive economic impact of all of this. Like, Luka Doncic moves units, and that's all associated to all the different layers of economy surrounding that NBA basketball team. A titanic shift. The owner, Patrick Dumont, took zero responsibility for his role in all of it, wrote kind of a tone-deaf letter that clearly nobody advised him upon. And if they did, yeesh, that's bad. And now he's saying that Anthony Davis cannot play without sort of proof that he won't be re-injured. And I'm sorry, guys, there's never going to be that proof. Like any doctor will take a random person off the street and give them an MRI or an X-ray, and they'll be like, "Hey, you got something there." You know, like this is Anthony Davis with years of basketball, years of injuries, years of not being able to stay on the floor. And now he wants to play that card. So what do you think about Anthony Davis? Other than like you're probably all the way out on him and all the different things. Is he getting traded, or is he going to be in limbo? Is he going to play a card and say, "Screw you, Patrick Dumont. If you don't let me play, then I'm going to file a grievance"? Like, what do you think it is?
Dude, I have no idea. I don't know. Hopefully they're getting ready to trade him. I would have you would have to think that anyone playing for the Dallas Mavericks right now wants to play somewhere else, except maybe Brandon Williams, because I think Brandon Williams is fired up about being in the spotlight here for a minute. I really don't know. I just don't know, man.
Well, your Brandon Williams pickup is prescient, because if Anthony Davis doesn't want to play there, or is getting traded, or will not be allowed to play there, and PJ Washington's bored with this, it gets thin real quick. And the list of playmakers that can actually do stuff gets thin real quick. And Brandon Williams would complement Cooper Flagg and all of the things that they're trying to accomplish long term a lot better than some of those other guys. So
what do you think is happening in Dallas? What's your take on Anthony?
I think that if you are out on Anthony Davis, like if you're going to do the full-blown reset, and that's probably what people are in Patrick Dumont's ear trying to club him over the head, say, "Hey, guy, this isn't working. It's not going to work. You need to just reset, clear the air out of the room, start over, blah, blah, blah." Then you go, okay, I have Anthony Davis today, and if I'm going to trade him, what I need to do is put a call out to the league like they should have done with Luka, which may be a problem for these guys. Maybe they don't understand this negotiating tactic, and say, "Guys, we're trading him by," and pick a date that's soon. I don't know if the December 15th date helps anything or not. Usually it kind of used to help a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's been that much of a mover in recent years. But whatever you do, you don't have Anthony Davis hang out and or play and risk injury and or risk just gaining dust on the shelf. I think like Golden State's name's been popping up. If you're a contender and you can get Anthony Davis on essentially a rental, and you can make the cash work out, which is a huge issue in this scenario, you make that happen, and you do it right now. But if those trades and somebody with the trade calculators and the great minds that work the CBA out there, if they've either already figured this out or not, I don't know. But if they do, then you can kind of find out which teams can be in the mix for this, and you make the move. And so if those teams exist, that's probably where I'll be thinking about, looking at research and such to determine what's going to happen with Anthony Davis, because in Dallas, unless they just kind of get over this risk of injury and just let him play, it's going to be dicey here for a couple weeks. And that's going to be good for Brandon Williams. Anything else you want to add? Feel free to just interrupt me, Doc, which I love when you do, by the way.
What do Anthony Davis owners do? Do you just stick him on the IR and forget you have him?
Yeah. He wanted to play the other day, and that might have been dumb. Who knows? I mean, it could be one of those things like, "Hey, I know that this team is dying if we don't win a couple games here." The Nico's on the hot seat, and I don't know what the relationship is like there. I don't know what the relationship is like between Anthony Davis and the team right now. When you want to play and they tell you can't, that generally, and if that's, misinformation, BS, who knows? But like, if that was like the legitimate truth, that gets frustrating really quick. So I think he's also looking for the exits. And I think that these things with big name players, like if you're team X and you've got a great shot at a championship, or you're in the mix, and then team Y could also get Anthony Davis and they're in the mix, as well, there's going to be a race. And that's the way Dallas has got to play this. They could get the best possible situation and do it before Anthony Davis falls apart. And if you're a GM, you're hoping all that happens sooner rather than later so you can get on with the business of having your first round pick back. Who else did I have on my list? I had Anthony Black on my list. The Paolo Banchero injury theoretically could be not much, but he walked off pretty gingerly off the court. I was watching that game just to kind of see how that all looked. And maybe a week, maybe two, who knows? And Anthony Black is 17 points, 3 triples, 3 boards last night, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So good poppy line to get everybody interested. The downside here is his values in the bottom of the top 200 with big minutes, 26.4 minutes per game already. So you're getting a player that plays. You're getting a player that might play more. My guess is he plays 28 minutes a game going forward. But the question will be, does that Paolo Banchero usage just make everybody in Orlando so much happier? You know, Wendell Carter's been good. Obviously the Desmond Bain stuff is huge. And then Franz Wagner will go off. But can Anthony Black get a piece of that is the question on my mind.
I think
that's a ton of just gravity in the box score. And this is why you buy low on Desmond Bain, you know, with or without Paolo Banchero, and now you're going to get the good stuff. I got maybe one more. Doc, do you got any more?
I got a few.
Okay, you want to fire away?
Dylan Brooks had 18 points, 2 boards, 4 assists, a steal, 3 3-pointers. I don't love Dylan Brooks, but there's only 3 games tonight. Phoenix is one of the teams that's playing. I think Dylan Brooks is a really strong streamer for tonight, and he might be worth holding. I cut Dylan Brooks yesterday to stream Dennis Jenkins last night. I'm probably going to regret that at some point, but then again, it's just Dylan Brooks. Anyway, Isaiah Joe is hot. He stayed hot, 21 points, 2 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 4 3-pointers. And then TJ McConnell, I believe, played the other night. He's back for the Pacers. I believe they played tonight. So I think he's worth a look too.
I'm going to go to Moses Moody because he had a bad game against Oklahoma City. And then in this game, 19 points, 5 triples, 3 boards, 3 assists. You got Jonathan Kuminga out with some sort of a bilateral knee issue. That's interesting. I got more on him in the drop zone where he lives. The bigger names. That dude is ass.
He lives in the ass in the drop zone.
Oh, mine was better than yours.
Leroy Jenkins.
That was hilarious. We got this Derek Queen sighting again.
Baller, dude.
I'm so thrown on this. And I think NBA defenders are too. Like 26.7 rebounds, 4 assists. No cash counters, no threes, no steals, no blocks. Derek Queen just got to keep it weird, man. Like in last night's ranks, 55-70, depending on 8 and 9 cat. So it wasn't even that good of a line, but it was, you know, like this is yet another indication that Derek Queen might run fantasy leagues down the stretch, and I just don't know.
I love the fact that you can't decide if you love or hate him.
I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to be watching a lot of New Orleans basketball, which I think I've said every year. And
gross.
Well, I mean, I'm also watching the Sacramento Kings, and I'm also watching, you know, but the other bad teams are much funner to watch than these guys. Sadiq Bey, 25 points, 3 threes, 6 boards, 5 assists, no defensive stats.
It's good guy right there. I love Sadiq Bey.
It's happening. It's happening in New Orleans right now. Zion is kind of slowly meandering back from his hamstring injury. Jordan Poole kind of in the middle toward the tail end of his 7 to 10 day timetable. Thank you, illness. I can barely talk, but they're just getting it going. So I like those three a lot. Bay, Queen, and Moses Moody, I think, is a lock for rest of season value. I think that he was going to be the starter prior to the injury. I think the Kuminga stuff was clearly trade bait related. The minute they gave him the props and the optics and all the things, he immediately started doing stupid stuff. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, the team gets upset and then changes are made. All of a sudden, he's hurt. Bilateral knee soreness. That's either both knees or both sides of one knee. I don't know.
Who was that?
You were saying?
Who were you? Who has bilateral?
That would be Jonathan Kuminga.
Ah, yes.
So I don't know if that's a real injury or if he's just taking it easy or somebody's upset. Dre being upset and then the team making changes. It all just kind of says the same thing to me.
Zion has been cleared for on-court work.
So many jokes.
So
exciting. Many jokes. Another one, Najee Marshall, I think deserves consideration. He had 12 points, low end line, 4 boards, 3 assists and a steal, 2 triples. What Dallas has done in the past is turned to Najee Marshall, number 1 scoring option. And it wouldn't be surprising if you saw like Brandon Williams, Najee Marshall, Cooper Flagg, another one. My very tall center, Derek Lively. Sorry, guys. I'm completely clogged through the ears. Derek Lively has not returned yet, but could return soon. And it just feels like Daniel Gafford is hanging by a thread out there, just kind of doing it for the team, so to speak. And let's say Gafford finally goes down and Anthony Davis is out or traded or whatever. You got Derek Lively maybe as the last man standing, and you got Lively, Flagg, Marshall, Brandon Williams, Klay Thompson, Max Christie, and you kind of just roll that group out there and they run up and down the floor and they're kind of somewhat moderately fun, but the stats go to Najee Marshall. What do you think about that, Doc?
I'm just reading this headline on ESPN right now. It says Jason Kidd urges outraged Dallas Mavericks fans to move forward. And they're outraged.
Jason Kidd says some things, man.
They are raging in Dallas.
Jason Kidd is like the master of saying nothing. He is.
Why would you go to a Mavericks game right now? Maybe just to take your kid and entertain them, say you did it. I don't know why you would want to go sit through one of those games.
Well, speaking of the Sacramento Kings, let's get to the drop zone. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the drop zone because Russell Westbrook is in the drop zone. He's a Sacramento King. Speaking of teams that you do not want to take your kid to go see because heaven forbid they become Kings fans. Russell Westbrook, 10 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, bad efficiency. I think he's going to be the man in Sacramento, so I'm going to recommend a hold. I think that there's going to be all sorts of weird stuff going on like this in Sacramento. And once the smoke and the dust clears, it will be Russell Westbrook with a key to the city. So I'll take a hold for Russell Westbrook. Don't know if you have any angles on that, Doc, but I will ping the tennis ball over to you. Who are your drop zone players?
Well, I think Westbrook is definitely a hold for now. Now, if he does this for 10 days straight, then you look at cutting him. But Brew, I'm gonna say a couple names, and you're gonna be really upset. And I don't want you to take this as a personal shot.
I've meditated my way through it. It's all good. I'm just breathing in and out.
I'm just speaking
in
truth.
And out.
Jake LaRavia.
I didn't even hear the name.
Hit 1 of 6 shots, 5 points, 1 board, 2 assists, 1 3. 22 minutes of nothing.
Oh, I have a great counter to this, by the way.
Jake LaRavia has scored 8 or fewer points in 3 of his last 4 games.
You came strapped up.
And LeBron James is in the G League, baby, getting ready to make his return. When he comes back.
You studied for this.
When he comes back, I think LaRavia might be toast.
I'm not picking up your late night phone calls anymore.
What is your comeback? You said you.
Yeah, I got that. These terrible numbers, which they were admittedly terrible numbers the night before, and I believe I placed him in the drop zone yesterday, but I don't remember. This came against Oklahoma City. They have wrecked many a box scores, so it's not all.
Luka.
They wrecked Luka. They wreck everybody. It's impressive. Box score health is a thing. People, go see your doctor. Jake LaRavia is going to be kind of like a top 100 guy, I think, in a best case scenario. He was really doing good. He's trending toward top 80. Top 80 and top 100 to me are like two different universes sometimes. Top 80, the lows you can live with. Top 100, the lows can go down to like 150 or 200 real quick. And so, yeah, the case can be made for a drop of Jake LaRavia. I can authorize that, but I would note that it's against OKC. This last outcome.
All right, and then the other player in my drop zone is a gentleman named Colin Gillespie.
That's not cool right there. That's not cool. I am taking this personally.
Dude, he played 19 minutes, hit 1 of 5 shots, had 4 points. Now, he did have 6 boards and 5 assists. 0 steals, 0 blocks.
With all due respect.
He has scored 8 or fewer points. 8 or fewer points in 4 of his last 5 games. That's Draymond Green territory right there, Brew. And Jordan Goodwin is suddenly coming on for that team. I'm worried about Colin Gillespie.
I ain't. Not worried one.
I haven't cut him, but when you score 8 or less points in 4 of 5 games, you are in the drop zone. I mean, it's where you are.
Oh yeah, no.
There.
I did mention a small
drop zone
speed bump.
hotel.
It was related to Jalen Green, but Dylan Brooks is just as much of a chucker. And the unfortunate part about Colin Gillespie's situation is there are going to be nights where he doesn't get the shots. You know who another person? I'm going to hold on a little bit of this. Because this is the general vicinity of my guys I wanted to talk about in a little bit here. But you got a lot of Grayson Allen out there. You got a lot of Phoenix Suns taking a lot of shots right now. And the key thing with Colin Gillespie is they play well when he is on the floor. He has been really, really good in almost every minute of action this year. So 5 shots for Gillespie. Jordan Goodwin got 11 in this game. He's also dealing with a back thing. The steals and blocks with zeros there, that makes this line really, really putrid. But he was the leader in plus minus for that team at plus 17. I see no signs of slowing down for Colin Gillespie. If it's the back thing, that might be a thing. If it's the this team, everybody that I've mentioned and then some taking more shots rather than Gillespie getting shots, then maybe that could hurt him. But he's a top 90 guy on the season, so I am not concerned in the slightest. But I thank you very much for the personal affront.
I dropped Jeremy Grant and picked up Filipowski in a league this morning.
Do we have any intel at all on Jeremy Grant and why he played just 7 minutes?
I think he got ejected.
Is that what that was? That was like a double
ejected.
ejection. Thank you very much. I was like, what happened there? And it was that.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut Jeremy Grant, but I wanted a streamer for tonight, and Filipowski's been solid. So I went for it.
So Grant's in your drop zone. That's a really bold move, by the way, because Jeremy Grant's had a nice start to the season. this outcome will drop his numbers on a per game basis significantly. Everybody just keep that in mind when we look at the small sample size here going forward. But the Kyle Filipowski, will it happen question is super intriguing, and there's going to be a lot to talk about there. So I don't know if you want to hit that now or maybe later during streamers. But I have a couple other drop zone guys. John Collins put up an Adem Bona line. 2 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks. Yeah.
Oh,
starting, but Bradley Beal out for the season. What are you doing with John Collins?
I'm Bradley Beal being out for the season was the least shocking breaking news I've ever heard. Like, oh, really? Okay, whatever. It helps John Collins. It's going to give everybody on the team more minutes. It's probably good for the Clippers. Really, it opens things up. I mean, they were trying to cram those 5 guys in the starting lineup out there at all costs, and it wasn't working. I mean, the Clippers they're not good. I thought they were going to be really good. So getting Beal out of there hopefully clears up some of that logjam. But I don't know. I don't have Johnny Collins anywhere, but I think now is a good time to get some John Collins because with Beal out, he should kind of take off.
I'm fully with you. And the numbers are bad for John Collins. He's basically kind of outside the top 150 in 25 minutes a game. Everything's down. I'm with you, though. This is a perfect time to get in there. It's almost like one more injury will unlock him. And then also Kawhi Leonard coming back could help him quite a bit and get some defensive attention on another player, create some, open circumstances for him to get out there and do what John Collins does. So, interesting stuff there. Doc, let's get to your guys of the night. Who you got?
Well, Jokic went crazy, and he was the big story. Did he score a ton of points, Brew?
I don't want to derail this, but I would rather talk about Nikola Jokic as the greatest player of all time than LeBron James as the greatest player of all time. My column.
Anyway, lost in all the hoopla around Jokic was a Victor Wembanyama ho-hum 31-15-10 triple-double with some threes, blocks, and steals. Wemby is my guy. He's such a baller. Matas Buzelis. We had a Buzelis sighting last night, 21-14. 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 threes. Played 34 minutes. God, I love Matas Buzelis, man. And then we had a very rare sighting of B-ball Paul Reed.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to shout that
28 points, 13 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals, a block, and 2 threes for B-ball Paul. That was because Jalen Duren was not playing. If Duren misses another game and you want to roll with Paul Reed, do it. But just keep in mind, every single time I've picked up Paul Reed in the last 6 years, thinking that he was going to fill in for Joel Embiid and go off when he was in Philly, he was a disappointment almost every single time.
It's hard to argue with last night's numbers, but the whole team got loose. Duncan Robinson, 23 points, 7 bombs. And then in another game, there was a lot of like one-hit wonder stuff going on. You had all the Cavs out last night, and they're all back, or at least Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley are playing in this game here tonight. But yeah, Craig Porter Jr., this is going to annoy people around here because I was annoying them about Craig Porter Jr. all last year, and then nothing happened. 19 points with 3 3-pointers, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Yeah, Craig Porter, you proved me right so many months later. Isaiah Joe,
crazy game.
That's just nuts, but that's what he does. Isaiah Joe, 21 points, 4 threes, 5 assists, 2 steals, and sort of these poppy lines. my guys, if you don't mind, sir. Reed Shepherd, 21 points, 5 3-pointers, 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. This is great. It's
back.
the Wizards. He's a top 100 play on the season right now. Right now, if you drafted Reed Shepherd, you have enjoyed top 100 value already. 22 minutes a game, 4.6 cash counters, 49.5% from the field. I mean, that's a little high, if not a lot high. But this is an unqualified success for a guy that was left for dead by many. And we'll leave it at that. So I just wanted to shout out Reed Shepherd. And yes, it was the Wizards. And I think the Rockets scored 175 points or something and cleared the spread by a lot. So my plus 17.5 died on the vine. My another year too late, Grayson Allen. Without looking, Doc, where do you think Grayson Allen is right now as a fantasy rank?
47.
Wrong. I'll give you one more guess.
Higher or lower?
Higher or lower? Yeah, there you go. Higher or lower?
I don't know. It was 47 way off the mark?
Way off the mark.
Is he better than that or worse than that?
Better.
All right. I'm going to go 17.
Close. Grayson Allen is a top 12 fantasy play this season, averaging 34 minutes, 19 points, 4.2 triples, 3.3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1.7 steals, and pristine percentages. Grayson Allen is a first-round fantasy play.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. So
I had him everywhere last year. I don't have him anywhere this year.
Did you remember how much we talked about Grayson Allen last year? You shamed me into stopping.
Like him and Dante DiVincenzo. We were all I was all about both of them last year.
He looks like a different player. Like, I don't know what happened last year, if he just got into protein shakes and working out or something, but like he looked overweight, slow. And this year he looks explosive. He's got just the entire arsenal, and they're just enjoying the entire experience in Phoenix right now, which is good for them. They needed a little bone out there. All right, Doc, let's talk streamers. You ready to do that?
Yeah.
Who's your top streamers?
Well, the aforementioned Dylan Brooks, I think, is decent. Isaiah Collier, been playing really well in Utah. My guy Kyle Filipowski, they're playing the Hawks. The Hawks give it up, man. Despite having Dyson Daniels, they give it up to the opponents. And Porzingis may not be playing tonight, which also works well for everybody involved on the Utah side. Luke Kennard's going to be out there bombing threes. And Mo Gay will likely fill in for Porzingis for the Hawks if Porzingis, in fact, sits out. Oh, and did I mention Nick Richards?
You did now.
The big man, Mark Williams, is iffy, may not play tonight. So if that happens, Nick Richards is probably going to go off.
Yeah, for a 3-game night, there's actually a lot of names thanks to Utah. You mentioned Bailey, Filipowski. Svi Mikhailiuk has outperformed all of them, though Filipowski and Bailey have
I didn't mention Bailey.
Oh, you didn't?
Mention
What's
Bailey,
wrong?
dude. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, Filipowski and Bailey, they have momentum. They have 2 games of momentum. I personally just love the Kyle Filipowski low-end lines that have been coming in because they just remind me of last season. And I have so many warm, fuzzy feelings about last season. In the Kyle Filipowski explosion for the last half of the season really was just outstanding. And I just like that it's under the radar. And I hope that when I get to my fab bids this weekend that there's some Kyle Filipowski out there, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, those 2 guys are, if there is a such thing as momentum in Utah at this point in time, and with the Keontae George pendulum maybe swinging back from him to the rest of the team, that's all interesting stuff. Yusuf Nurkic might be on waiver wires because the numbers have been terrible. The percentages have been terrible. for him. And then on that Atlanta side, you mentioned Kennard. Vit Krejci's been on fire lately. And whenever he gets going, it's kind of a consistent thing, at least for small periods of time. So he's interesting. Keaton Wallace probably off the radar, I would think, but this is a player that, this is Kaysen Wallace's brother, but he's just caught my eye in general. So just kind of always want to watch there, but they've gotten healthy. I think they're done taking their time off in Atlanta, at least, the non-Porzingis players. I think they're ready to play a little bit. They had a lot of games in a condensed amount of time. Zach Ricochet is probably one of my top two. Again, and I had him last night, and he was just pretty good, and I'll take just pretty good. Sam Merrill was really bad yesterday, and all of his teammates were out, and I think that might have hurt him. And so with everybody back, I think he was 1 of 10 from the field last night. So a bounce back for Sam Merrill with his teammates back. If you're looking for 3-point shots, I think that's a good one. And then you've got the Phoenix Indiana game. Jarris Walker, Isaiah Jackson, Jay Huff. You mentioned Nick Richards. I think you mentioned Oso Ighodaro.
TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell. Ryan Dunn seems to be like perennially available, or proverbially. Perennially would suggest it was every year. And we're just talking about right now. Fun with Grammer and Bruski. That's it for the streamers, unless you got something else over there, Doc. What you watching for tonight?
I don't know, man. These games it's a pretty rough night. You've got Phoenix hosting the Pacers. Pacers are 1-10. Phoenix is kind of weird. No Mark Williams, maybe. That's going to be a Grayson Allen party at Bruski's house at 9:00 tonight.
Oh yeah, dress like Grayson Allen, everybody.
You've got Toronto at Cleveland. I just have no interest in that game. And then you've got my Hawks at Utah. And,
you're not interested in Toronto, Cleveland? That's like a clash of Eastern Conference Titans.
I don't care.
You don't care at all.
I don't care about it. No, right. I've had nobody from either team, I don't think. Atlanta at Utah, like that's interesting to me. No Porzingis potentially. We could see Collier and Filipowski and Keontae and Dyson Daniels. Jalen Johnson had a very good game last night. Nobody's talking about it because of Wemby and Jokic and SGA and everybody just going off. But that game he had last night was pretty spectacular. It was like, trying to pull it up.
It came against the Sacramento Kings. I'm just gonna throw that.
Oh, did it? Did it really?
That game was over by the middle of the second quarter.
He had 24 points, 10 boards, 8 assists. I can't believe we have not uttered the words Keon Ellis today, dude. He got.
I'm not gonna. I had him on the list somewhere, but dude, that's honestly no. That is like a feature and not a bug, as they say. First of all, I've covered the Kings for 20 years, ballpark, and the fan base is like they're just ready to go. Like it doesn't matter. The Maloofs did everything they could to make the fans hate the team. Vivek and everybody involved has made this team so bad, and they've done the dumbest thing every single time. And they've lied to their fans over and over. Yeah, here you go, Steve. Sit back. You brought it up. You deserve this. They've lied to their team through their broadcasts about what exactly is going on the court for the almost entirety of the time that I've covered the team. And I think finally, when Doug Christie, who, by the way, I think he finally snapped last night, when Doug Christie says the defense is supposed to be on the court and Keon Ellis is out there just stealing the ball left and right, like I think Joe Sixpack fan understands how stupid that sounds. And I think in Sacramento, they're tired of being lied to. And I think they've been sold a bill of goods that's crap. It's ass. Ass, I tell you. Been sold this bill of goods that, like, Eventually, they're like, man, you guys lied to us for 20 years. We're not good. I can't believe you did that. And now they don't care. They just don't care anymore. I go out and I'll be like somewhere and they'll be like, oh, hey, Aaron, what about the Kings? They don't care. Like, they're just like, I'm taking up bowling, and whatever. And so Keon Ellis hit 20 or 6 3-pointers for 20 points. I don't care. They're going to screw it up tomorrow. Maybe it's Keon Ellis time. Maybe it's Nick Clifford time. Maybe it's Russell Westbrook time. Anyway, Doug Christie literally said something like, these guys couldn't give a rat's ass, and I'm gonna get fired tomorrow, more or less, was what I read out of that. And good on you, Doug. You don't have to sit there and take that crap. What were we talking about?
Wow. What are you looking for tonight in these 3 dog games?
I'm looking for Vivek to send me an invite to go GM the team. I want them to break the internet. I will be watching that Utah Phoenix game. That seems like a perfect fantasy degenerate game to watch, followed by the fun as hell Phoenix Suns in Indiana. We'll watch for the centers in Indiana, see if they can do anything. Better point guard play, I think, will be the thing that I'm kind of keying in on for Indiana as a whole. Can these centers actually get going and produce? Jarris Walker, can he produce? And then on the Phoenix side, look, I want to see Royce O'Neal, if he can keep it going. He's been a top 35 guy this season. He was available in a league that I had to bid on. I bid big. I was like by myself on that bid. And I'm just like, am I by myself on Royce O'Neal? Like top 35. I don't think he's going to change. Like maybe a shooting dip here. Maybe he's old and gets dinged up. But like if everything holds normal, this is great. And then Colin Gillespie, of course. I will be watching for signs of life out of Colin Gillespie so I can throw him in your face, Doc. Let's go to our new segment.
The Toronto-Cleveland game is on NBA TV, so you can watch it if you want to.
Oh, hey, we got some news popping in here. We got a Kawhi Leonard update.
Kawhi Leonard.
Speaking of Kawhi Leonard, he is dealing with a significant foot sprain in addition to a sprained ankle. Lawrence Frank says Leonard will go on an upcoming trip. If I could get some attribution on this, Andre, that would be great. Upcoming trip, and the Clippers should have a better feel for his status next week. I imagine that's probably reported by multiple outlets, if I'm guessing. Kawhi, what do we do with Kawhi? What do we do with the Clippers?
You stick him on your IR, and you wait. You wait it out. Now, I mean, you can trade him. You can trade Anthony Davis. You can trade Kawhi, but it's a bad time to be moving guys when they're injured because their value is so low. You want to trade guys after they go off. You want to trade guys when you have to question yourself whether or not you want to trade them. Like, oh man, Anthony Davis is playing so good right now. Kawhi is hot, man. He's carrying my team. I don't really want to move him. That's when you trade him.
Yeah, agreed. I can't believe they let him play that many minutes that night, and then he got hurt, and now he's gone. And you could have seen it coming. That was Young Misuk. Apologies for the bad enunciation there. Yeah, I don't really have a take here, but let's get to the new segment that's taking the nation by storm. Sell high or ride the wave. These are overperforming players. Are you selling high, Doc, or do you believe this is the new normal and we'll stick with that player? And if you're selling, what would you like to get back? All right, let's start. Tyrese Maxey is the number 5 fantasy play right now, and he looks awesome. Are you selling or are you riding the wave?
I still think we're headed down the same road we were on last year in Philly. Joel Embiid's going to get shut down at some point. Paul George, will we ever see him again? I have no idea. Maxey looks incredible, but I would sell high and get out because I do think Philly's going to struggle at some point to win games. And I think their hot start was kind of a head fake.
Well, they haven't done well against good teams, but it is early. So, all right, you're selling. Draw a line in the sand. What's your number?
What do you mean?
Like, would you do a top 12 player? Would you sell a top 12 player?
You mean trade Maxey for a top 12?
For a top 12, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a mid-second rounder?
Yeah, I was going to say top 20. I think I would do it. And if you have depth issues, you can get 2 good players for Tyrese Maxey.
That is true. And usually that's the other way around. A lot of GMs are trying to do the 2-for-1 in the other direction. So this is pretty ballsy stuff, Doc. I'm just going to throw that out there. With that, it's probably good business. My line would probably be about 12 here, because I really do think Philly has the components to be good, to be a top 4 team in the East. That's a best case scenario. But if they can stay in the 4 to 6 range, I think Tyrese Maxey is like gunning for MVP. He has all of the tools. The injury concerns might be there for me. And then there is team organizational concerns as well that could come into the mix. So 12 is probably my number there, but be picky, guys, be picky. Donovan Mitchell at number 7. What do you think?
I mean, he's locked in. He does what he does. I'm sticking with Donovan Mitchell.
This is an uncomfortable one, but this is exactly where I had him ranked in the B150. And games off are already happening, and I think it's wise. Like, so far the games off pattern, I mean, I think maybe one of them was like, what are we doing here? But like, if we can get 70 games out of Donovan Mitchell, I think we're really, really doing well. We will end at this number. And maybe that's a high water mark, and maybe it is a good business to get out of the Donovan Mitchell risk scenario, but he is locked in, I think, in terms of role and what he's gunning for. I think he's going to be the guy with the stats this year. And I would probably have a similar sell high kind of valuation of about 12 is what I would be looking for to get out of some of that injury risk. But that's I would be way more picky with Tyrese Maxey than I would be with Donovan Mitchell because of the injury risk. So I'll leave it at that. Austin Reeves at number 8. What do you think?
I mean, that's kind of screams sell high, right? LeBron's coming. Reeves has been on fire. I don't want to trade Austin Reeves, but it almost feels like you should.
I think it's funny because he just went through the groin injury, right? You know, it feels, and he did this last year. He feels like the guy that's not going to have any problems, you know? And then I forget, he fell like a hard fall last year, and he missed like 8 games or something. And it's like, oh, I guess he is destructible. And here we are. He's off the groin injury, but then it's Luka and LeBron. Like, LeBron could fall apart. Luka's got a history of doing, you know, some sort of injury at some point in time and missing games. So it feels like maybe he sees through this. But at number 8, I mean, if we're talking a comparison to number 8, you got to sell. I think I'm looking at the original B150 range of like 12 to 15 is where I have him finishing, kind of independently of anything that's happened year to date. So I'm pretty good with my original valuation here. If you can improve in that range, and I don't think you can, like, I wouldn't be like trading Austin Reeves for like Karl Anthony Towns, you know, for example. And for Karl Anthony Towns versus somebody like Donovan Mitchell, I probably would take Karl Anthony Towns, just because I feel like Karl Anthony Towns has a little bit of a better risk profile. But Austin Reeves, ironically enough, you know, maybe I'm saying right now that I would rather have Austin Reeves than Donovan Mitchell is maybe what I'm saying right now. And that's a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, it's a little bit of a sell high moment there. What about Julius Randle? This is a little bit of a easier one. He's at number 10 right now.
How's he 10?
He loves himself the basketball.
I'm moving Julius Randle.
What's your
top 20?
Wow, that's it? Okay. I have a
mean,
Julius Randle.
you should be able to get a top 20 for him.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. No, I think I mean I'm going way down. I will sell Julius Randle for like a 40, a 50, maybe even a 60.
What?
I don't believe in Julius Randle.
I don't like him.
No,
So
I mean,
so like Zach Levine is about 60. Nick Claxton, Bam, Donovan Clingan, and Jeremy Grant. Ooh, ouch! I just cut him. Yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. I'm not a Julius Randle guy at all. I can't understand how he's so high.
And to be clear, this is like I'm talking players that I project to finish in the top 50, 60, from here until the end of the season. I'm in that range as like that's maybe the bottom of where I would go. That's where I would be. I don't think I think the thing with Randall is we haven't seen any adversity out of this, situation at all. When the adversity hits, that's when things start to get bad for Julius Randle. And if the efficiencies and the volume go down, and Cat has been off the floor, or probably not Cat, Anthony Edwards has been off the floor for a long time this season already, the going is super good. I would probably say 50 for sure. 50. And let's see how that goes. Hopefully you can get more than that. Alexander Sarr, number 20.
I mean, I was kind of all in on Sarr coming in. I'm riding the wave.
I'm going to be very picky with Alexander Sarr right now. It looks like he took a step forward, and I don't think I'd go any lower than 40. Denny Avdia, number 22.
He's hot, man. He's a baller. It's one of my guys. I'm riding the wave.
I don't see a lot of difference in his game going forward. I mean, these numbers are a little bit rich for him, and there's some injury risk here. I'd probably go like 30, 35 kind of tops, but otherwise ride that wave. Jalen Duren, number 23.
I mean, the injury is a real buzzkill, but my goodness, the season that he's having, like he's finally doing what we thought he was going to do 3 years ago. We've been talking about Jalen Duren every year. Never really does anything. This year, he just exploded out of the gates. I don't see any reason that he doesn't keep doing this. I'm probably holding.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a little bit of a sell high here. I think 40, 45, 50 is definitely in play on a sell high for Duren. Look, these ankles have had issues the entire duration of his career. He's a big dude. Getting hurt is definitely a part of this equation. As far as the game itself goes, I'd project him around 40 just based on him staying healthy, healthy-ish. I could project him around 40 even if he missed another 10 games or something. And so Jalen Duren, solid. I like what they've done with the game plan with him. They've definitively made him a part of the attack versus just being sort of on the periphery with screen and normal big man stuff. But let's switch into Norman Powell. What do you got there? He's basically 30 right now.
I think that's where he's going to be all year. He loves Miami.
Oh, that's a baller
He's
take
solid.
right there. That's a baller take right there. It doesn't worry you that Tyler Hero is going to come back and steal his thunder.
Nah, man.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's a little worrisome. But I don't know, man.
But Norm's just going to see his way through it. I would get aggressive here. I would definitely sell for a 50 here. 50, and depending on the 60, if the 60 was there, I would do that. It's something. Norm's not exactly a spring chicken, so a little bit of risk there. Drew Holiday at 30.
He's having a great year. I didn't know if he was going to really go to Portland to play or if he was just going to kind of chill out on the bench. I think he had a big double last night. 30. That's pretty high. I don't know if he can do that all year, but I mean, There's no reason he can't. I think he's going to play like that all year.
I will say sell him at 50. 50 would be my number there, but I agree. I think it's going to continue to be a good season for Drew Holiday, who's always in the 40 to 50 range when he plays, and probably gets the bump because he's in Portland and healthy and getting a lot of shots and a lot of attention, or a lot of on-ball play. Alperen Sengun at basically 30.
Well, good to go. I'm not.
Yeah, I think if anything, I think he might get better from this number. So Alperen Sengun, ride that. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, just a little bit outside of 30.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have either of them on any of my teams. I mean, that's where they should be. I feel like that's. I mean, Mikal Bridges catches a lot of heat, but he does a little bit of everything, and I think and Anunoby is a pretty good player. So, yeah, I'm sticking.
I was telling folks to sell when Bridges was a first rounder and OG Anunoby was a top 15 guy. They've slid back a little bit. Cat's on the way back up the charts. But now with Jalen Brunson, crutches, etc., I'll say ride. We'll keep it riding. Ryan Rollins at number 35. What you got?
I really like Ryan Rollins. He was good again last night, man. He's going to be up and down all year, but as long as he stays in that starting lineup and is their starting point guard, he's going to do this. But the KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr. coming back is scary. So I think this is a good sell high moment on Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, I would take that all the way down to like 60, 75-ish if, depending on the name. Otherwise, I would let it roll because I like Ryan Rollins as well. And I think that if that Giannis scenario happens, that Ryan Rollins will be well positioned to have a good last third of the season. Let's go. I'll skip over Jaden McDaniels. Well, no, I won't skip over Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels, 42. What you got?
Boring. I don't see why he doesn't do this all year. Stick.
Okay. Ryan Kalkbrenner, number 44.
Okay. I like Kalkbrenner, man. Playing really good for Charlotte. Can he be top 50 at the end of the season? I would move him for like top 70. I think he's going to finish around 70.
It feels like two things are true with him, that there's a lot of consistency and set it and forget it to his game. And at the same time, it feels like if one little thing goes south with field goal percentage, or one little thing goes south with the blocks, that it all kind of comes crashing down into the top 75 or to the top 90 range. And it also doesn't feel like anybody's challenged this guy to play him off the court. And so there's some risk there, but at the same time, it feels very set it and forget it. Like he's just going to do this all season long. So I would say exactly like what you said, 60, 75, and just accept some of the value loss in exchange for a player that you don't have to kind of worry about so much. Khalil Ware will be our last player, and he is currently ranked at 84.
That's my guy, Brew.
Yeah, about 5 million of those.
15, 13, a steal and a block last night, a 3. I love that guy, man. And he's getting starting minutes right now because Bam's hurt. But even when Bam's around, it doesn't take many minutes off the bench for Ware to go off. I'm sticking with him for sure.
I just got to ride this number. It's been really bad for him in the context of like Spo not wanting to play him and all the different things. And yet here he is just cranking along. And yeah, helped a little bit by the Bam Adebayo injury. But I think in the grand scheme of things, if you told me, hey, Ware will be at 84, 10, 11 games into the season at low minutes with Spo barking about him all the time, I'd be like, that's great. That's awesome. And I'd be in my head thinking the top 50 and theoretically beyond is, on the way at some point. So ride that. Okay, that's going to do it for the show. Big thanks to Andre for putting it together and doing all the things. I do actually. Oh, I'm so sorry. Before I go, I got to get a bet on the board. I really got to get a bet on the board because I'm feeling it. Oh, I'm feeling it. I got Hawks -2 today. Let me just get the updated line on this. Yeah, -2, -112 at the Jazz. I do think that they are going to look at this as an opportunity to push a win across the board and continue successfully along on their road trip, even though they did run the Kings out of the building last night. Suns -4.5, -110 at FanDuel. I just think the Suns are a better basketball team than people know, and that Indiana's got their issues. And so I will take Phoenix at home with that number. Okay, now we're going to get out of here. Big thanks to Andre Lamouche. Doc, if you got anything to say, just feel free to interrupt me. You know I love that.
I'm peacing out, bro.
Peace
I'll
out.
See you later.
Yep, go have fun playing golf in Golden Tee. Whatever it is that you do over there.
Not what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We know what you're up to. Check out the box score breakdown tonight. Tim Woodson and William Harris hold it down at night after the game. So if you want to get ahead of everybody else, make sure you get on over that show. Check out our cheat sheet. This cheat sheet's so pristine, you guys. It's so easy. NBA FantasyPass members get access to basically just make it super easy for me, please, and super effective. And I'd also like to win. That's what the cheat sheet does for you. And check out the blurb feed and just keep an eye on the website. We're putting all sorts of stuff into it to make sure that you guys get all the edges. There's both free stuff, there's stuff for the members, and it's just all great. Check out our free app. Go to the Google Play or App Store, and you just type in Sports Ethos. You get the free app, which gets you all the updates as well as stats on the go. That's going to do it for today's show. This has been Fantasy NBA Today, presented by FanDuel. I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, be well.